Strategies expressed on WLAF TV 12 do not necessarily reflect those of the staff, management, ownership, or advertisers of WLAF TV 12, 1450 WLAF Radio, FM 100.9, or 1450WLAF.com.
Stop by Heights Finance Corporation today and see Sandy List for all your financial needs. We're located in the Carl Pierce Furniture Building at 220 East Central Avenue in Eufaula, Tennessee. We offer loans from $500 to $100,000. Former bankruptcies are welcome, so give them a call. Call 563-6797. That's 563-6797. Or stop by their office 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday.
Mule Pro FXT can't handle. The 2015 Mule Pro FXT. The Mule Pro FXT is engineered to smooth out the most rugged terrain. Over 8.5 inches of suspension travel make uneven surfaces feel a lot less jarring, while a tight 16-foot turning radius combined with electric power steering means easy and effortless cornering on a dime. Engine braking is tuned for a controlled feel when heading downhill, and high output LED headlights light up the way. Round out this exceptional package with the maximum stopping power of front and rear disc brakes, and there's almost nothing the Mule Pro FXT can't handle. The 2015 Mule Pro FXT.
Hi, I'm Ann Love with Linda Kilgore State Farm Agency. I have worked in the insurance and financial services industry for over 20 years, formerly with the John R.W. Brown Agency. I'm a native Campbell County and enjoy helping people with their insurance needs. Stop by and see me for all your insurance needs.
Riggs Drugs has been a part of Campbell County for generation after generation, serving our friends and neighbors. And now we have redesigned our store to better serve you. It's the same knowledgeable and friendly staff, but a new look and new technology to ensure you get your prescriptions fast. We've always got you covered from prescriptions to all your home health needs. We've always been more than a pharmacy, still offering a huge selection of gifts and decor here at the new and improved Riggs Drugs.
Are you missing out on extra Medicare benefits that you may be entitled to? Hi, my name is Blake McCoy with Independent Insurance Consultants. If you have Medicare A and B and have Medicaid, TennCare, QMB, or receive extra help on your prescription, drug premium, and copays, I want to make sure that you are receiving all the extra benefits that you are entitled to. Call me toll-free today, 1-866-691-5571, and let me help you.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome again. Hey, I hope we have a good show tonight. I got a lot of things to talk about, and I hope I can get you involved. Last week, I don't know, I got started off, I guess, on the wrong foot because I didn't get many calls last week. Probably ended up only getting 7 or 8 calls. I want to find something that gets you involved. But first I want to tell you that Doyle Service, he does tires, oil changes, alignments. He got 4 bays. He has people there waiting to serve you. And they do you right. I'll tell you about the first time they advertised with me up here for a week. I go in to have some service done. The guy just told me, he said, if you'll do this, I'll save you this much money. How many people are going to tell you that? They'll help you. You can trust Doyle's, the tires, Got a couple of things to talk about, but first I want to get into superintendent of schools. You know, you're just right around the corner in decision making on a superintendent of schools. And, you know, I've always had concern about education, and that was one of the reasons why I decided to do this show. And it'll be it'll be 21 years week after next in Scott County. I will be starting my 13th year here, believe it or not, week after next, first week of April. I will be starting my 13th year here. And I don't know that I ever went, even when I was starting it, I didn't get more than 6 or 7, 8 calls. But we talked a long time, and some of those calls was really good, and I liked that. But tonight, I want to see if I can get you talking about the superintendent of schools. I understand that they're only looking in this county for your next school director. I'm not saying you can't. I think you found a good one, and Mr. Poston's seemed to have done a good job. And since I've been over here, you've had 3 school directors. Actually, you've had 4. 2 from out of state. There was one here when that I can't remember his name, and then the lady, and now Mr. Poston. You've had 4 in 12 years. And that's not good. That's not good at all. But how many people live in Campbell County that has any kind of experience in being a director of schools? How many PhDs do you have in Campbell County to qualify? And I'm not saying it takes a PhD, but I believe it would help. And so for this committee that's searching and looking to narrow down the pool of people that's actually qualified, I'd say they may come up with 3 or 4 or 5 that the state would allow them to pick. And I would say in most cases, those people are not already in those higher positions, or they'd already be there now. There may be some young folks here that's got their education elsewhere. And the reason why I believe it's important to look at every angle that you can look at, not just a good old boy or a good old woman. I don't think we need that. I don't think you all need it. Just, okay, pick somebody from Campbell County and let's go with that. I don't know that is your best avenue. Now maybe somebody from Nashville, Knoxville, or something in the state, but to know that basically how we operate and act may work. And I know you've heard too that this didn't work out. Absolutely did not work out. But again, I contributed those failures to the people that did the interviewing. People interview has to take some of that responsibility. Now, do you have a lot of those same people that's interviewing the people that, and I don't know. I just don't understand why this position in this county, and in our county too, is not important to all of us. It should be one of the most important positions that you have. But we don't treat it that way. And I wonder how many applications has been filled out for that position. Now, I don't know how your search committee or whatever or anything else, but I'd like to hear some of you all, because I think it would be very important for that committee to hear what you guys have got to say. I know some of you has got ideals of who should be sitting in that position, but I can't get you to say a word about it. I don't understand that, but it is important. Now I got no calls on it, but I hope that somebody along the way will feel that there's a need to get involved in this process. See, you got an opportunity to get involved in the process, but you're not even. It's whatever they do is okay with me, and it shouldn't be that way. Because when you don't participate or you don't care, then basically you're telling your kids, what does it matter? And our school system and the education level of our kids in this area is not getting any better. I don't know very few kids that don't have to take classes to qualify to get into college. You're on the air.
Well, we don't need anybody like that one they had down there, and he, it messed up. We had to get rid of him, remember?
Oh, yes.
I can't remember his name, but we don't need nobody like that. But I thought that Mr. Poston, I thought he was going to recommend somebody or something in the paper.
Well, I haven't seen anything. I understand that there's, they've kind of, I guess, tied the hands of the people that's going to pick them, because now my understanding is they're saying that they're going to hire the next superintendent of schools from Campbell County. They are going to live in Campbell County. They are, I guess, been residents here for a long time, or either in the school system or whatever. I'm not saying that there's not people qualified here. I'm not saying that they shouldn't hire one of them. I'm saying they shouldn't narrow that search level down to just, hey, all you can look at is just people in Campbell County. You should be able to look at the people at least around
surrounding counties.
Right. Yeah, just to say they got to hire somebody local, I think that's wrong.
Yeah.
Okay?
But we sure don't need nothing like that one they had down there that time.
I can't think of his name either, but well, and the lady didn't seem to do it any better. And I don't know whether they hired someone to go interview these people and bring them in here. I don't know. But usually when you find someone that's done these jobs, they're either looking for a bigger place to go and trying to go up for more money instead of coming down for less money. If they're coming down, they've been having problems wherever they've been working.
Yeah.
Appreciate your call.
Thank you.
Thank you. You're on the air.
Hey, big guy, how you doing?
I'm doing great.
Looking good. Looks like you and me have a real outbreak of good health. You're looking a lot better.
Well, I'll tell you what, for the last month or so, I've improved a great deal. and I don't know whether I contributed that to the weather getting better or I just was, I was really sick for a while.
Yeah, at our age, we have to be careful. We get the bug, it can be fatal.
You're not lying.
Oh, we get more we appreciate the medical profession.
Yeah, and that's the truth. Well, did you know,
Well,
Steve?
let's take a bet these Indians are going to med school.
You're crazy. Okay.
Oh, you can't find it. You can't pronounce the doctor. If you can pronounce the doctor's name, he cheated to get through.
Well, did I tell you, my little grandson? I swear, they don't teach him how to write anymore. Cause
No.
and his is terrible. I'm just terrible. And I said to him the other day, I said, honey, we've got to practice and he's 8 years old. We've got to practice your writing. You got to get it better. He said, Papa, don't worry about him. He's going to be a doctor.
That's a smart kid, though. Hey, they passed this rule. I signed with the 4 school board members that voted against this rule to restrict these applicants for school superintendents to only people who either live in Campbell County or own property in Campbell County. So I've come up with a simple solution that we can pick anybody anywhere we want to. I will sell 1 square inch of property to anybody who wants to apply for that superintendent's job. I'll have the deed written up, title search, everything. They got to pay a small fee for all that, but 1 square inch of property, and that way they will qualify as an applicant for school superintendent. What it is, you got 6 people down there, they already know who they want to pick.
Yeah, I guarantee you
So
that.
they place these rules to cut down on competition.
Yes.
And it ain't right. If we're going to pick them in this county, then we should to elect them. If they are required to live in this county, we should go back to an election process and let whoever qualifies based on the state requirements run for the office.
See, that's
You'd have to live here, plus you'd have to have the qualifications, plus it'd be somebody that some small clique ain't picked, and they would be chosen by the people instead of a handful of elitists.
I agree with you. I mean, but the thing about it is, when we elected some, I'll guarantee you, we had superintendents of schools in our system at home, and I can guarantee they never got through the 3rd grade.
They shouldn't have been allowed to do that, because, like sheriff, he has minimum requirements, so does road superintendent.
Yeah, but
And if we go back to electing school superintendents, I'm sure the state will have minimum standards.
see, 30 years ago they didn't.
Well, yeah, 30 years ago, but we had some pretty good ones. We had that Sexton family that.
Yeah, but you was up in Oneida. We didn't have them down in our county.
Well, what was his name? Oswald Sexton's brother. He was superintendent for many years.
Yeah.
His sister, Evie Huff, married to Dr. Huff, or the father of Dr. Huff. She was the mother of Dr. Huff.
I mean, now you got me confused, but anyway, just keep going.
And, Raymond Jeffers was elected school superintendent from, he lived up there straight for.
But, he resigned.
Before he finished?
Yeah.
I did not know that. What was the reason?
I have no idea.
I did not know that. I had moved to Georgia to teach, because they paid so much more than Tennessee. And then Jimmy Carter came along, and we became the 2nd lowest paid state in the Union. Only Mississippi paid less than Georgia, and that's what Jimmy Carter did for education.
But anyway,
But anyway, if anybody wants to apply, if they want to buy 1 square inch of property, I'll, just call BR514, and we'll take care of them.
But don't you think it is, that's ridiculous to,
Yes,
that's such an important job that you narrow it down to that level.
It's, you know, we don't take these 6 board members, take them out to North Lake, handcuff their hands behind them,
Be quiet.
throw them in the water and say, now, can you swim without both hands? That's the same thing. You know, not let them drown or anything, but as a demonstration to show how stupid it is to tie our county's hands behind our back and then get our butt thrown in the North Lake.
That's ridiculous, isn't it? Appreciate your call.
Okay,
Thank
hey, really appreciate you coming over here and doing this show.
Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
You're on the air.
Good evening, how are you?
I am doing good.
I'm getting mine in early and I thought I could get on the liquor, just watching the rest of the evening and feel good about it.
Well,
I don't know, I'm aggravating.
I would give $50 myself just for you had seen my show in Scott County last night.
I'd give anything if I could get it over here.
You can get it. It's MBR TV 5 at what's that called?
Is it on Highland? They still on Highland?
No, you don't have. It's just MBR TV 5, and we're on Highland, but it's called when you stream,
Right.
and you can get it.
I'll have to check into that then.
I'll
I
get.
really would like to see it, no joke.
But
I mean, I just feel...
the grandmother of that child called my show at 9:30. She told what happened. Would you like to hear what happened?
I would, but real quick right here before we get started on that, the seriousness stuff. I just wanted to ask you, you and jury, would you expect any more or any less of how they're doing the process here? I mean, that's a given.
I think it's wrong.
Yeah, well, it's dead wrong. Anybody knows that, but I mean, and that's why there'll never be change in our area, because that's their mindset with that. And
I guarantee you they already know without question.
Oh, there's no doubt about it.
And I bet you haven't went through the process.
Hey, listen, I've got very close kin to me, and I mean, people that know me know who I'm talking about that held that job. So, I mean, and I don't think I should have. That's my personal opinion. But now that's when it was an election. But the thing to this is, you know, they'll say, well, when we hired that guy, you know, I won't even mention his name, you know, and how that turned out. But that was their own fault. They didn't do their homework on it. You know, they didn't go back and make sure all the qualifications what it was, because it took an individual, you know, that wasn't even involved down there to find it out, to break the story and stuff on it. So that was their own fault. So that goes to show you right there. But this is never going to change in these areas, but that's why our homesteads here are never going to change. I mean, things, until they broaden their horizons, it's never going to change. Because you know as well as I know, there's probably 2 people that they've got in mind, and it's a drawing straws, and between which one of them gets it. If it's done, said and done. I bet you $1,000 against dollar bill right now.
Well, I would not take that bet.
So, I mean, well, anybody with any kind of, I mean, you know, would. So, but I just wanted to see about you and Jerry if you thought that it would be any different than how it is.
No, I mean, I really, that's the reason why I talk about it. Why, I mean, it don't do no good to talk about it, but, because people are just so set in their ways that they don't care, or they just turn their head and let it happen. And
that's exactly right. You know, I mean, people, you can get out and talk to people, and they'll be so passionate about things and about this, that, and the other. But when it comes time to do it, they're not there. When it's time to show up to try to get things done, they don't happen. So
solar panels.
it is.
How ridiculous is that? to put solar panels on top of a schoolhouse.
It does, but it could have been a proper way. But I think that they went, and not even a proper way. It could have paid for itself if they'd have went about it in a different way.
Yeah.
So I mean, but that's neither here nor there. Now tell me about the story over there, because I want to hear it.
The grandmother called and she said, my grandson was talking to another kid on the bus about a dream that he had whipped one of the WWE wrestlers at Walmart.
Right.
And they were talking about that, and he become the world's champion or something of wrestling. And so he's in his homeroom. This teacher comes and gets him out of his homeroom, forces him to tell the people that he is a liar.
Oh, this is the one pertaining from last week.
Yes.
That's right.
And that he was a liar. Then she parades him through 80 total students, because there was 4 classrooms that she took him to and made him tell those kids that he was a liar.
Oh my God! And what has become of that?
Parading him through this, and this was almost at the end of the school day. So on the way home, the kids harassed him terrible.
Oh yeah, I can imagine.
And so anyway, to make a long story, they went to the principal, and the principal said that she'd have her to apologize to the boy. Well, she paraded the kid in front of 4 classes. Why shouldn't she have to be required to at least go in front of those classes and say she is sorry? But they wouldn't do that. Went to the principal, and the principal said, or not the principal, but the school director, that he would discipline her, but he couldn't tell him what kind of discipline that he was going to do with her. He just couldn't do it. That was the rules.
So to humiliate this child that's going to stay with him for the rest of his life in the small town where he's at, and who knows now what it's going to cause him, because you don't know. We don't see into the future, and people say, well, it's just a harmless little thing. But you don't know. You know, children are the cruelest people in the world. You know, and you remember it as a child. I remember, you know, whether it was you being cruel or somebody being cruel to you. And they grow up, and a lot of them, you know, learn to do better, you know, as they get and become adults. But until that time comes, I mean, this child could really have some bad things, you know. And, you know, teen suicide and stuff it's the highest point it's ever been in the, you know, the history of our nation. Over smaller things than this. You know, and that's because that's what I was asking, if this was what had happened.
Well, they
still not corrected the problem.
It's not over, and there's some other things that I'm going to mention here in just somewhere along the way tonight.
Simply amazes me though that somebody would do a child that way, and not if they don't have the sense about them, you know, to know what they could do, you know, to scar that child. That's who you want teaching your children?
Well, we haven't heard the last of it yet. I'll guarantee you.
It's sensible. I mean, it's sensible. Well, I'm just glad to get in and get my 2 cents in early here. Like I said, I might hit the liquor jug myself. So,
okay. We'll talk to you later. We got a hard break. And if I don't have anybody to talk to, give me a call.
See you, my friend.
Thank you. Bye-bye. We'll be back out of these words from our sponsors.
Stop by Heights Finance Corporation today and see Sandy List for all your financial needs. We're located in the Carl Pierce Furniture Building at 220 East Central Avenue in Eufaula, Tennessee. We offer loans from $500 to $100,000. Former bankruptcies are welcome, so give them a call. Call 563-6797. That's 563-6797. Or stop by their office 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday.
Razor, Ranger, Sportsman, Ace. If you live for the outdoors, there's a Polaris to match your passion. Confident, Comfortable, capable, that's Ace. With a solo cockpit, automotive controls, independent suspension, all-wheel drive, and up to 45 horses of fuel-injected power. Calling it revolutionary would be an understatement. Polaris, the world leader in off-road innovation.
Hi, I'm Cindy Christian with Linda Kilgore State Farm. I've been providing excellent customer service for State Farm customers for 4 years now. I'm licensed in auto, home, life, and health. Come in and see me for all your insurance needs.
Riggs Drugs has been a part of Campbell County for generation after generation, serving our friends and neighbors. And now we have redesigned our store to better serve you. It's the same knowledgeable and friendly staff, but a new look and new technology to ensure you get your prescriptions fast. We've always got you covered from prescriptions to all your home health needs. We've always been more than a pharmacy, still offering a huge selection of gifts and decor. Here at the new and improved Riggs Drugs.
Are you missing out on extra Medicare benefits that you may be entitled to? Hi, my name is Blake McCoy with Independent Insurance Consultants. If you have Medicare A and B and have Medicaid, TennCare, Q&B, or receive extra help on your prescription, drug premium, and copays, I want to make sure that you are receiving all the extra benefits that you are entitled to. Call me toll-free today, 1-866-691-5571, and let me help you.
Okay, we're back. Doyle Service Tire and Tires, folks, is across the street from Advanced Auto, Lowe's. Just think about it. When you need tires and you want somebody that's really honest, beat all I ever seen, saved me right off the bat. I believe it was either $30 or $50, and and I didn't know them from Adam, and they didn't know me from Adam. Well, I guess they did recognize me somewhat. I said, if you'll do this and you go get your parts and whatever, I can save you a little money. So, hey, there's not many people to do that for you. That's Doyle. You know, and I used to get my stuff done other places, but now I come to Doyle's because I appreciate that kind of honesty. Now, if anybody's got anything to say about the superintendent, I know there was a couple of people trying to get in while we were talking, but now give me a call back and we'll talk about that. But I got something that I know a lot of people say, well, Ariel, you just harp on this. But I want to ask you a simple question. How can you accidentally rape someone? Especially a 7-year-old child. It was in the paper last week, and I decided not to touch that with a 10-foot pole last week. I wanted to see if somebody would mention it to me, because they say I talk about that too much. I'd like somebody. How can you accidentally? And if there's any women out there, tell me how could anybody accidentally rape you? You're on the air.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
How you doing?
I'm doing good.
How's the wife doing? She getting better?
Absolutely, because she's bossing me heavy right now.
Yeah, I'm wondering about her. See how stuff and stuff. Yeah, she's doing getting missed her.
Yeah, she's doing better, but she's not kicking high yet, but she's doing better.
Well, that's good. You know, every time she'll come back to that. Yeah, she'll be all right.
Oh yeah.
Maybe that was one of your big problems you said. You know?
Do what?
Worrying about her. Maybe that was one of your problems about feeling bad, worrying about her.
Well, ain't no question I was concerned.
Because, you know, that can make you sick right there. You know?
But, you know, my son says I'm just not right. Because I said, we were sitting there having a supper, or dinner the other night, whichever some people want to call it. and I'm not good around planning for funerals or going to burials and all this and viewings. And I told her, I said, now honey, you got to live till I die, because if you die before I do, I'm just going to have to go fishing or something, or let somebody else take care of it. And my son almost fell out of the chair and said, Dad, you're just not right.
I bet she liked it, didn't she?
She kind of grinned.
Yes, like that school superintendent thing.
Yes.
The reason you're not getting much feedback on that is usually like people just don't give a damn around here. Plain and simple.
It's just bad.
Yeah, well, I quit doing that for the watch. Just watch my place and my next door neighbors, just like you watch mine too, you know.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm not going to put myself online for you people up there fuck yourselves. I'll take care of their own, I'll take care of mine.
They don't care.
No, they don't care. So that's the way I feel about it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. I'd sit here and watch them steal stuff. I wouldn't care. I'm serious. I won't say a word. I'll say, hey, there's smoke back there.
I hope your neighbors are not watching.
I hope they are. I don't care. They know how I feel about it.
Oh, Lord.
I got a good next door neighbor now. He's a fine man. You know? He's been a neighbor for about over maybe 10 years now.
Yeah, well, that's good.
He's retired out of Michigan. But now he's raised up in Clearfield, so he's not no original flat.
He's not a Yankee. He's really a hillbilly.
Yeah, all the way.
Okay.
Because the weather is fishing up. But that's it. Just people don't care no more.
I think that's the biggest problem. People don't get involved.
No, they don't. That's like I said. That's the reason I'm not fooling that neighborhood watching. Boy, they can have it. Somebody else can do it if they want to. If they don't, I don't care.
Yeah, well, you know, it's just like this kid over there in Scott County. The only reason this became a big issue is because the parents and the grandparents got involved, and they got involved quickly. They wanted answers, and I didn't go hunting for. They called me and told me the story, and I couldn't believe it.
Well, they should have called every student in to the auditorium and had her apologize to that youngin in front of every student in that school.
But it's kind of out of hand right now, I think. But we'll see what happens with it, because there's no one thing about it. The grandparents and the parents of that child is not going to let it just die.
I wonder if the grandparents or parents would do anything if it's been somebody else's child.
That's a good question.
That comes back all to they don't care.
Well, you know, I got asked a funny question last night off the air. A person called in and said, would they have the same reaction if it had been a black kid? Well, I know it would have been the same reaction with me if the parents had called me and acted the same way that the parents of this kid. Well, absolutely, I'd have treated it just the same.
Oh, of course. I was in the military with a lot of fine black people, and I grew up with black people. Went to school with them when I was growing up. I mean, I don't see no color.
Why would you know that person was thinking something negative, or he wouldn't have asked me that question.
That's right. Like I said, I mean, you know, I look at people by their heart and how they feel.
It definitely does not mean a hill of beans to me what color a person is.
No.
Because, you know,
the people that does it all it is, racist is all they are.
Yeah, well, I grew up when growing up in Scott County in the 40s and 50s.
I remember when they had that sign up when I was all in Rock over there. So nigger, don't let the sun go down on you. I don't like using that word, but that's what it said.
That's what it said, absolutely. Well, they had actually, and I can tell you without any reservations, and I was a commissioner that had it changed on Mount View, is on Highway 27, which was the main from Michigan all the way to Miami, Florida. And
There's one on 63 too.
yeah, but this, there was a road that turned off on the main road there, and there's a big sign there, Nigger Bend Road. That was terrible.
Oh, yeah.
And I had them change that name. I did, and they said, "Oh, why did you do that? That's part of history." Well, we got to do better than that.
Well, it's going to take everybody pulling together to get things changed, you know.
Yeah.
We can't go around backbiting each other. I mean, that's asinine.
Right.
You know. But that's just the way the people are. Well, not everybody, but a lot of people that there, you know.
Yeah.
And, oh, well.
Appreciate your call, buddy. Okay, appreciate your call.
Okay, talk to you later.
Okay, bye-bye. Yeah, I'd like to hear a woman call me. Is it possible to accidentally rape a child, a 7-year-old child? Did you read that in the paper last week? Is that possible? Now, I have a theory about that. My theory about that is the lawyer will use that to say, this shows you he's not of right mind. Well, we know anyone would do that is not of right mind. They can't be. You're on the air?
Oh, you know, I don't know what was wrong with that guy, but if he was high or if he's crazy or what, but I think it was just a cop out on his side, you know, saying that. And he didn't admit to it the second time.
Yeah, he admitted it the second time, yeah. I intended, because I wanted to do that the second time, but the first time it was an accident.
Yeah, said he made a mistake. That's the craziest thing I ever heard.
Well, see, that's exactly the defense. That it'll go, he's crazy. Well, we all know he's crazy.
Yeah, I don't.
To rape a 7-year-old child, well, it's crazy to rape anybody.
Yeah, that's right.
There's too many willing souls out there. And I'm not saying that in a bad way.
There's too many getting by with it, if you ask me.
And
you hear bad all the time. I'll be getting faces.
What this guy was here 2-3 weeks ago, raped here in Campbell County, and what they do is they send him back to his home state in Alabama with the, he's got some kind of probation.
They got some kind of device on his, hooked on him where they can watch him all the time, they said.
Yeah.
And give him probation.
Right.
That was, I don't know, it seemed to me like the law was made for the criminal instead of the ones that get hurt.
Sometimes I think the people that's judging those laws is coming up short.
Yeah, they lost it.
Appreciate your call.
Thank you.
Thank you. Come on, some lady, give me a call. I mean, this one, you know, she didn't elaborate what I'm trying to ask you. Why would a person, how could a person accidentally rape anyone? That's what I'm trying. I can't imagine. I can't even fathom how that could happen. So there's nobody wanting to tackle that question. Some of you men. I'll tell you someone that You're on the air?
Well,
Yes, sir.
was that woman me crazy or something?
Huh?
Was that woman that called, was she referring to me about being crazy or I?
No. She's talking about the guy that raped, the guy raped a 7-year-old.
That's sickening.
Twice.
I turned it down after that.
Twice.
That's one sort of case that makes me sick.
I appreciate your call.
Okay.
You're on the air.
Yes, this is my opinion, and everybody has an opinion.
Right.
But I think that if you're going to raise anyone, especially a child, I think that they should take the man, hang him up by his feet, and cut his parts off and let him bleed to death. Because there's many ways besides the child. And I'm sure that the good Lord would excuse this. What do you think?
I think so. You know,
I really do think so.
but I tell you, can you even think how anyone, I'm talking about anyone, I'm talking about you, I'm talking about me, I'm talking about anybody, how could anyone accidentally, because people do rape men too, could accidentally rape someone?
I don't think there's no accidentally to it. I think that something's gone wrong with their heads. But now there's magazines, there's sister pages of things in magazines that people could get in the privacy of their home instead of a child, I don't think the good Lord would be happy with that at all.
I appreciate your call.
Thank you.
Thank you. Let's see. You're on the air. I can't understand what you're saying. Okay, let me see if I can hang all these up and start all over again. Okay. I really believe that this was planned to say that, so whenever that person goes before a grand jury or a judge, and I think that these kind of cases should have to go in front of a grand jury. I don't believe they should just be going in front of a judge, because we see too many people, and they like to see these cases come in front of them at times. I really believe that, because that way I can put that person on probation and I can get $200 or $300, according to what kind of monies they make. Because why do we? The rest of the country is just throwing marijuana cases out the window. But I guarantee you, every person that has a marijuana deal ends up paying in probation and paying a fine every month around here. You're on the air.
Yes, Oriel, about the comment about the guy that raped the little child. That man is sick, and what I'd like to say about that is you cannot fix stupid. That's my opinion.
I appreciate your call.
Okay, thank you, buddy.
Thank you. We had a constable. This has been about maybe 8 or 10 years ago. A little boy, like 3 years old, and it was this constable's, it was his grandson. And he was performing oral sex on his own 3-year-old grandson. Now Now, they did put him in jail in Scott County for 1 year. And I did not let him out. But how could anyone do something? I don't know. You're on the air.
Ariel,
Uh-huh.
there ain't no such thing as accidental rape, and these people play crazy and do these things, and then these lawyers are just as dirty as they are and help them get out of it.
How could this person not be either sent to prison for quite a while or be put into a mental institution? And I think that that's what the goal is, to say that the first one was an accident, but I'll tell you the truth about the second one.
Yeah.
And I'd say some lawyer coached him into that.
Probably did.
But
We need lawyers, we need judges, but some people, they're just mean. I mean, I ain't saying some people don't have things wrong with their mind, but everybody that does something anymore, they say they're crazy.
Would you not think that anyone that would plan to kill somebody or do a rape and do this, do we not already know that they are not of good mind?
Well, no, they're not a good mind, they just got an evil mind.
Yeah, but how do we put people away? Just like this guy that they're talking about now, it's got hundreds of millions of dollars, and how many people has died, and they know that it's died, it's connected to him, at least 3, but he's never spent no time in jail for that. But now he's spending time in jail because somebody has decided we've got to do something about them, what went on with this man, and he's 71 years old.
Yep.
And you know, and I know it, money's had to have something to do with that one.
It does. Money and who you know.
Yeah. Appreciate your call, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you.
Ariel.
Thank you. Okay, I've got more things to talk to you about, but I'd like to make another about 5 minutes of this segment. I like this last caller's call about, well, it can't happen. Does anyone even have a theory? How could, is there any possible theory, a way? Now, I'll tell you, if anyone could analyze this, and after reading her column for 10 or 12 years, Ann Hester might be able to answer this for us. I don't know. This is one I think that she would have a hard time answering. I don't think there is an answer. But if there is an answer, she's the one person. I know she has to be a good philosopher because she writes a lot of these columns about the things, I can't even say the word now, but anyway, I'd like to hear her take on it. I really would like to hear. And Jerry, Hazel Valley, don't call, because I don't want your opinion, because you can drive me crazy with some of those things that you talk about. But anyway, I hope that we can start seeing some difference that Judge Salmons is how that she will deal with some of these, and I know she has to send him on over to criminal court because that is a criminal case. But I'd like to see how that's going to happen and how it's going to work out. Now, and also Andrew Hammond, You know, he's in the paper today. You know, a lot of people follow that guy. But I'm not so sure that the person that was with his ex or his wife, I don't know whether they were separated or divorced or how long this has been going on, but anyway, she says that she had been intimate with this guy since last July. I wonder if Andrew was the person that left his family first, or was it his wife? Because when you read the paper, it's in today's paper that she had been intimate with this other guy that went to church with since last July. And Andrew had filed for a divorce. Now, what was going on between the whole thing there is, I don't know. It's something that I don't guess I need to be talking about, because we don't know what the personal lives are of anyone. But I really do believe that the national attention and the local attention that Andrew got over the snakes has had something to do with his actions here lately. But now, there was evidently some criminal things in Andrew's past, and so we don't know. This is going to be a one that's worth watching, I think. And we may have some really surprising outcomes on some of this stuff. But I think that the guy is very talented. I believe he's thrown it away. And I hope he can get his life straight. And you know, whenever I first heard the story, you know, he was supposed to shot into the house where the kids were at. But according to the paper, there's only 2 shots fired. One was in the air and the other one's basically at the person, or supposed to have been close to the person, was trying to get a shotgun. I don't know where he got it in his hands or not. But we might have some surprising outcomes of that one. But it's time for a break. We'll be back after these words from our sponsors.
Stop by Heights Finance Corporation today and see Sandy Lister for all your financial needs. We're located in the Carl Pierce Furniture Building at 220 East Central Avenue in Eufaula, Tennessee. We offer loans from $500 to $100,000. Former bankruptcies are welcome, so give them a call. Call 563-6797. That's 563-6797. Or stop by their office 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday.
Mule Pro FXT can't handle. The 2015 Mule Pro FXT. The Mule Pro FXT is engineered to smooth out the most rugged terrain. Over 8.5 inches of suspension travel make uneven surfaces feel a lot less jarring, while a tight 16-foot turning radius combined with electric power steering means easy and effortless cornering on a dime. Engine braking is tuned for a controlled feel when heading downhill, and high-output LED headlights light up the way. Round out this exceptional package with the maximum stopping power of front and rear disc brakes, and there's almost nothing the Mule Pro FXT can't handle. The 2015 Mule Pro FXT.
Hi, I'm Linda Kilgore. This is my 35th year with State Farm, my 25th year here in Campbell County. I'm not a high-pressure salesman. I like to just sit down with my customers and help them decide what's right for them. Thank you, and I hope to see you soon.
Riggs Drugs has been a part of Campbell County for generation after generation, serving our friends and neighbors. And now we have redesigned our store to better serve you. It's the same knowledgeable and friendly staff, but a new look and new technology to ensure you get your prescriptions fast. We've always got you covered from prescriptions to all your home health needs. We've always been more than a pharmacy, still offering a huge selection of gifts and decor. Here at the new and improved Riggs Drugs.
Are you missing out on extra Medicare benefits that you may be entitled to? Hi, my name is Blake McCoy with Independent Insurance Consultants. If you have Medicare A and B and have Medicaid, TennCare, Q&B, or receive extra help on your prescription, drug premium, and copays, I want to make sure that you are receiving all the extra benefits that you are entitled to. Call me toll-free today. 1-866-691-5571 and let me help you.
Okay, we're back. Now remember, dolls, when you're out there and you need your oil change, or you need tires, you need alignment, and you just need someone to talk to, that's the place to go. I'm telling you. Friendly guys, and they have enough mechanics to work with you. I mean, they can get you in and out. And if they can't get you in and out, they'll tell you, I'm sorry. I've got everybody I can take today. And so they got something on the ball, or they wouldn't be having that kind of success. So I hope you'll just be part of that success and go down there and join in with them. Now, here's my biggie for tonight. You know, I know that they've been searching for an administrator and for La Follette now for several weeks and months probably. And I see the paper today and I see that there was like, I don't know how many candidates, 5 or 6 or 7, but it seems that 2 leading candidates, and this is hard to believe, but with all the issues that went on back and forth, Mr. Young was still in the running. Now my question is, what if that each one of those candidates, because there's 4 aldermen, should the mayor have the last vote on this one because there has been a conflict between those 2 parties? Should the mayor make the final decision? Let's say each one of those candidates gets 2 votes. You know, there's a lot of turmoil. Mr. Young was let go. I don't know. What do you think? Does La Follette need a business administrator? Now, the charter I know says they will. And the only way that charter, I might be mistaken on it, but I think the only way that charter can be changed is to be resubmitted to the state and the state approve it. Now, I think that La Follette is a large enough town that it should have a paid mayor. Not, I mean, $200 a week. That is ridiculous. Now, Oneida never did grow. I mean, it was always just the same thing, and a drab cat. And they changed the rules. They rewrote their charter. The mayor now makes a good salary, and so you got top-notch candidates that runs for that office anymore. And I'm not saying Mike is not a top-notch. He's evidently he's doing a heck of a job. But should he make that decision, or should he break that tie? Because definitely, it would be a conflict with what all they've been through. And again, like I say, I think the charter should be rewritten. I think it should, the Follett should have a, and I, you know, someone's not going to like what I got to say. It's this office in La Follette, as big as the town is and the way it grows, it should be at least a $75,000 a year job. You're on the air.
Hello, Ariel. Good talking to you.
Thanks.
Down there in La Follette, surely they got a little common sense and won't go through David Young again, because they had trouble after trouble every time he gets in there.
Well, now, that's what I'm saying, but if he gets 2 votes from the alderman to be rehired, would it be a fire to him for the mayor to actually take that vote? Now, that's what the charter says, and that's probably what would happen. But, you know, I truly don't know if Davis won any of his cases where he sued the city. I don't know whether he won any of them or not. I know some of them were thrown out, but if he's the most qualified, would it be fair for him not to get the job? And if he wasn't, now I'm going to say this. I don't believe that he was ever convicted of doing any wrong. It was alleged that this and that, but I don't think there was ever a conviction.
Yeah, when he was county mayor, he got a felony.
No, I'm not talking about as a city administrator for La Follette. The city administrator.
He worked behind the scenes and do it. He's real sneaky about that. Yeah, that's him.
But again, you know, we know and he knows, everybody knows that while he was the mayor of the county, that he went to prison or went to a halfway house or something or other. In fact, he was removed from that office.
They done seen his track record, and surely they got enough sense not to go through all this again.
Okay.
Surely they growed up a little bit.
But now, according to the paper, he was a finalist in the of the candidates, or it appears that he was. And that's my question is, if he's been interviewed and he's a finalist, he's got to have some support somewhere. And how strong is that support? And if it come down to where there was 2 and 2 from those candidates, and my question is would it be fair to Dave that the mayor makes the final decision?
I believe it would, because I don't know a 2 vote he's got, because he's buddies with these other 2 real good. And I believe the mayor will settle it.
There's no question about it. Right now, and that's the reason I don't know where he will settle it. I'm saying I think that he'll be involved in that process, and it would Mr. Young get a fair shake? Because again, has he been convicted of anything as a city administrator for La Follette?
No, but I don't think he has.
I don't know.
Yeah, he goes behind the scenes, behind everybody's back, and does it.
No, okay.
Hey, he's tricky. He'll get around it.
I appreciate your call.
Okay, thank you, Ariel.
Thank you.
Bye.
Folks, give me a call. I mean, we'll talk about anything you want to talk about. we don't just have to talk about whatever I want to talk about, because my show, I tell you what, one of those things that's been bothering me is bothering me right now a little bit, but anyway, I'll take care of it quick and continue to talk. You're on the air.
Hey.
Uh-huh.
When the city council voted to dismiss David G. Young this last time, was that not a form of a conviction? Not a criminal conviction.
He wasn't convicted of anything. I mean, he wasn't.
No, but what I'm saying is it wasn't a criminal conviction, but if the city council voted to let him go, that's a form of indictment.
Yes.
And as you said, his lawsuit against the city for releasing him has not been resolved, I don't think.
Right.
But I think he's got at least 2 votes on that city council. I wouldn't be surprised at all if he wasn't hired back.
Okay.
Because I think he's got 2 solid votes. And God knows what our promoted street sweeper will do if it comes to a tie. He's liable to go any direction. You know.
Well, now he got elected by the people.
I don't know, but anyway, that'll be a real interesting issue. It'll be really interesting.
And that's why I wanted to talk about it. I think it will be.
Hey, a friend of mine pointed out, if we have done so well over the last over a year without a city administrator, why do we want to spend that money on one?
And that's
all the department heads are doing fine without a city administrator. So why don't they just save that money?
Well, you know, it's just like Mr. Fannin was on my show and he said, because the city charter says they have to.
It don't say they have to. There's no penalty.
Well,
not having the city administrator.
According to your charter,
okay, Bob Fannin is saying that he has been in violation of the city charter for over a year, and therefore he and the other city councilmen should resign their offices for violation of the charter and a violation of their oath.
Well, I think
Bob Fannin made an argument in favor of his immediate resignation from the city council.
Well, what I'm saying to you, I think what Bob was saying, he's tried, but he only has 1 vote.
Well, what I'm saying is,
and they've been arguing about it.
Required by the charter to have a city administrator, then why have we gone for a year, over a year without one? Therefore, he is in violation of his oath and the charter, and he should resign.
I don't know. That's too deep for me. All I'm saying is that now he said here on my show, and he's pointed out that his stand on this is their charter tells them that they have to have an administrator.
Okay, now that means he's in violation of the charter. He should therefore resign, and so should the other 3.
Okay.
Because hey, that's what the law is for. It's for them to follow it. And if it says we have to have a city administrator, they are in violation of the charter. Have been for over a year.
It's been a while.
If I rob banks for a year and then I decide
you don't get caught
in a year not to rob any more banks, does that make me not guilty for all the rest of them? But anyway, hey, you got a great show and we love your subjects. We'll catch you later, man.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
My God. Oh, man. Oh, man. I still got 45 minutes to go, folks. Somebody got to take it easy on me. But no, I think it's a legitimate question, and I really believe that. And I'm not just saying it. I think that La Follette needs a full-time mayor. Now, whether they need a full-time administrator or not, to me, the way that it's set up here, it's, I don't know, I don't understand it. Why you have a city administrator that actually runs the place and they're not an elected official. And a mayor that gets paid nothing. I mean nothing when you stop and look at it. What? $10,000 a year or something, $10,400 a year. And might get some insurance or whatever. You can't buy bread for $10,000 a year anymore. You definitely can't put a whole lot of meat on the table. Then people are complaining if you got a clunker car that anyway, I guess I picked out a subject tonight. I don't understand how this charter was written. I know that Oneida at one time basically had about the same kind of charter, and they changed their charter and went. Their mayor has a full-time job, paid a good salary, and he has people that work for him. See, those people down there don't work for the mayor. They truly don't work for the mayor. The aldermen, in the way that their charter is written, the mayor is basically a runner. They are at the mercy of the court, the mayor, and the court tells them what to do, and a mayor, and the way that it's structured down there now, the mayor does not have the authority to manage those people. Now you think I'm lying? Is there anybody out there that's watching that is Mike watching? Or is any of the aldermen watching? Bob? Does the mayor honestly have the authority to tell anyone in that office what to do? Now, the people has been assigned a responsibility, and it's evidently it's working. But that's not the way it's supposed to work if you're going by the charter. So, anyway, anybody got any other subjects you'd like to talk about? Because I know I can pick out some, and some of those are pertains to guns. Pertains to the lake. And I want to ask one question. I know some of you are not going to. While Bob and Ronnie's place up there, I see they're cleaning it up somewhat again. But the BP station up on, like you're going up to 27, how come it's not cleaned up? You're on the air.
Did you hit your head on the way into work tonight? What? Let's just go back over this thing, because I've been listening. I said, are you blaming the defunct preacher, his behavior on his wife?
I'm not blaming.
Dead.
I don't know who I'm saying.
Wait, stop right there. He gets a gun and goes off nuts and does something. It's your fault.
I think he's definitely.
That's not the point.
Got
Why did you say that?
But I'm saying we don't know what's going to happen.
That's not the point. You're blaming his behavior on his wife.
No, I'm not blaming.
Have a choice.
I'm not blaming his behavior on his wife. I'm saying it's possible that we could see a different outcome of what we think we know, because evidently the person that she is seeing now is.
I don't care if she's seeing 15 other people.
No, I don't either, but what I'm saying,
Whatever she's doing.
he went after a gun. I don't know if
They were at a park, and he followed them from the park. And if you haven't been watching him, you have to know that somewhere along the line, he got, just like these other so-called charismatic preachers. I mean, how many cults have you seen started? They would start to believe that they are what people seem to think they believe.
I understand that.
Some of these people have a tremendous amount of power over the people in their churches. And they start to believe that. And once they start to believe that, they're in trouble. Trouble. He didn't have a job. She was pregnant at the time when all that happened. He was, getting food stamps and on some kind of well assistance. And he's preaching and he's doing this, that, and the other. And he's driving around with no license, no tags, no anything. It hasn't anything to do with her behavior.
Oh, I'm saying, I think the guy's got some serious problems. I'm just saying what we think that we've seen.
No, you're using the royal we.
Well, what
I'm not going to blame him. I'm not going to blame her for what he did.
Well, I'm not blaming her. What I'm saying, but we may see something different than what we.
If the man had a gun and he took it out there and he fired it, he was wrong. End of story.
Okay,
and that's your basic. When you get down to your basic thing. Now let's move on to some of your other points. Why did La Follette decide to have a city administrator in the first place?
That's what I don't know.
Well, years ago, you had these mayors that were not mayors. They just ran the city, and people got fired, and there was, abuse of the power. So I guess they said, well, we'll take that power away from the mayor. He'll be mayor. He can do two things. He can sign checks, and he can break a tie. And we'll get a city administrator who'll do that. And then that way, but how can you have a city administrator that you're paying more than most anybody working in the city, and he's not elected? He doesn't answer to anyone.
Don't make sense.
Except that's it. Now, when this last city administrator was let go for the second time or the third time, I don't know how many times he's been city administrator. They don't have to give you a reason. It's a right to work state. People could have talked about the wrongdoing, but the decision was made for the betterment of the city that they had to change the city administrator. And another thing, what makes you think that paying people a lot of money gets a better job done?
I think
he ought to pay this mayor $75,000. Oh well.
Well, I'm telling you.
What are we paying the President of the United States, and what are we paying the Senate and Congress of the United States?
We pay the President of the United States.
I mean, we're getting our money's worth.
We pay the President $400,000 a year, and we pay the Congress $174,000 a year.
And we think you're getting our money's worth?
I think that we.
Why do you equate paying people more money and getting a better job?
I think that you could get better qualified people.
All right.
Now, I'm telling you right now, I would not take this job for in La Follette and know what I know and been around this world and see what other people make.
That's right.
You look at what the responsibility that you have. You pay for responsibility. And if people are doing that responsibility right.
You have them, if you have a mayor here that he's elected, you have an elected city council. I mean, and you did admit, or they did say, even though it's against the charter, they have been running pretty darn well because they've got people. First of all, your department heads are not getting chicken feed. They are responsible for their.
I understand that.
You have a city council that's being responsible for first time in a long time. So you have people that are saying, let's do what's best for the city. And that's the way they've been making their decisions lately.
But I'm just saying.
Do you think that by bringing a city administrator that's not elected, and pay them that much money?
I don't think they should have.
And how many city administrators have they had that they've paid all that money to?
I don't think they should have an administrator. I think.
And it has been
I think there should be a mayor getting paid to manage your town.
Well, that's on the mayor. You know, I can't speak for him. If that's what he's willing to take, that's what he's willing to take. But the minute he asks for more money, they're going to say, there's going to be a conflict there. If he's willing to take that money, then that's what he gets. I think they should pay the mayor a little more money, maybe, to maybe compensate for whoever mayor it is. I don't care who it is. But this thing of the city administrator has failed over and over again. Yes, they ought to get it going and change their charter.
Now, I know 2 towns that I personally know that the mayors, they do it because of the love. You don't find that in many places.
Oh, you don't?
Mike loves La Follette.
Absolutely.
George Potter loves Huntsville. He don't get paid a dime, but he's a millionaire.
That's right. Well, then he can afford to do that.
And he does what he wants to do.
It has a lot to do
He's
with
in love
how he
with
feels about the city, and not necessarily about being able to move people around and play king of the hill. Yes, there is a difference, but you do get some mayors that all they care about is the power. I mean, we've had mayors here that were absolutely involved in illegal activity and corrupted the entire city. They had corrupted the police department. They corrupted everyone because everyone was afraid to do anything about it. And not even the city administrator did anything about it.
And that's one of the things that bothers me the most, is because we elect not who we think is doing or can or will do the best job. We elect whoever we like the best.
Yes, that's true.
It's a popularity contest.
He did my cousin a favor. He's a good old boy. He goes to church. But so many of these people get elected, and they use the people. They absolutely get away with things that you and I or any of the rest of the citizens can't get away with here. The city needs to change their charter.
I think they should.
Department heads are held responsible.
I think they should change the charter, and I think the mayor should be a.
And I believe the charter reads that in the absence of a city administrator, the mayor becomes the city administrator.
That he should receive the.
Well, that's not another line that says that he should be paid.
He should be paid whatever. If he's doing the city administrator's job, he should be paid the city administrator's
Well, that's what
money.
you think, but that's not what in general people think. They don't here. They don't. They really don't think that here, and that's okay. I mean, and the mayor is doing what he's doing. I don't agree with some of the things he's done.
But he does it through the love of
But that's the difference between him and somebody else that has been there, and I think he should be paid more, of course, but they're not willing to do that. But they're willing to go through this exercise of putting someone in there that is not elected, that can do anything they pretty much want to do, and it doesn't care who gets sued and what happens from it. When you're elected, but who gets blamed for it in the long run? Your city council gets blamed for it, and your mayor gets blamed for it, putting the wrong person in that office.
And you know,
they need to change the charter. They started changing this charter after the last failure.
You want to hold on while we go to break, and we'll go back and.
All right, if you don't have any to do.
I got another call right now, but.
I'll leave you go, and then I'll come back if there's something else you want to know.
Okay, I want to talk some more.
All right, bye.
Okay, bye-bye. We'll be back after these words from our sponsors.
Stop by Heights Finance Corporation today and see Sandy List for all your financial needs. We're located in the Carl Pierce Furniture Building at 220 East Central Avenue in Eufaula, Tennessee. We offer loans from $500 to $100,000. Former bankruptcies are welcome, so give them a call. Call 563-6797. That's 563-6797. Or stop by their office 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday.
Razor, Ranger, Sportsman, Ace. If you live for the outdoors, there's a Polaris to match your passion. Confident, comfortable, capable. That's Ace. With a solo cockpit, automotive controls, independent suspension, all-wheel drive, and up to 45 horses of fuel-injected power. Calling it revolutionary would be an understatement. Polaris, the world leader in off-road innovation.
Hi, my name is Jeremy Pierce. I may not be Jake from State Farm, but I do wear khakis. I've been here with Linda Kilgore's office for 2 years. I enjoy helping people make a decision regarding their insurance based on their needs and wants. I'm fully licensed. I enjoy selling auto, home, and life insurance, so feel free to come in or call in any time, and I'll be glad to help you.
Riggs Drugs has been a part of Campbell County for generation after generation, serving our friends and neighbors. And now we have redesigned our store to better serve you. It's the same knowledgeable and friendly staff, but a new look and new technology to ensure you get your prescriptions fast. We've always got you covered from prescriptions to all your home health needs. We've always been more than a pharmacy, still offering a huge selection of gifts and decor here at the new and improved Riggs Drugs.
Are you missing out on extra Medicare benefits that you may be entitled to? Hi, my name is Blake McCoy with Independent Insurance Consultants. If you have Medicare A and B and have Medicaid, TennCare, Q&B, or receive extra help on your prescription, drug premium, and copays, I want to make sure that you are receiving all the extra benefits that you are entitled to. Call me toll-free today, 1-866-691-5571, and let me help you.
And you're live. Hey, and we're back, folks, and I hope that we can go ahead and have the rest of this next 30 minutes as exciting as this last 30 minutes. Doyle's service and tire service down, they align, they balance, they change your oil, they just keep you going. And I know there's other things that they do. They've got 4 bays down there, and so you can stop by and tell them that Ariel sent you, and I greatly appreciate it. Okay, I know that Jerry, I want to say Hazel Valley, said that, you know, he thought the alderman should resign, that they've been living a lie or living against the law down there. So, and it actually used one of the alderman's name, Bob Fannin, but I hope you're on the air.
Hey, I
recognize that voice. Did you hear what was going on?
Yeah, I came in and listened to the very end of it, yes. The law, our charter says we must have a city administrator. We interviewed several times. We just re-interviewed the last 7 a couple of weeks ago, which Mr. Young wasn't one of them, but he just won 7. So we can't pay Mike anymore. The charter doesn't allow that. To go out of that particular government, we have to have a referendum by the people to change the charter. Now we can change the charter from city administrator to city manager, and there's 3 different ways we can do that. 3 different the state of Tennessee recognizes 3 different types of city manager. But in that particular situation, the city manager would have total power. I mean, hiring, firing, and everything, which we are looking at. But in no way, I mean, if the people of LaFollette wanted to put it on the ballot and change it where the mayor is in charge, that would be fine.
Well, now they're the ones that would have to bring this and go to the election commission and file, and it wouldn't be your alderman, or it would have to be the citizen.
Yeah, it has to be the citizens. I mean, they have to have so many signatures
to
do this, and then you file under the state advocated law where you have to have so much education experience for this position. So I doubt it.
We would you know, and I know, if you're under that charter, it would disqualify Mike for certain.
Well, no, I mean, again, we don't know, but right now we're trying to narrow it down to 2 or 3 candidates and vote on it probably the next meeting. I think we should have a city administrator in place.
What do you think about what Hazel Valley said, that he felt you guys were operating outside the realm of the law, that you all should resign.
Well, I mean, we should have a city administrator in place months ago. Of course, you know, sometimes our hands are tied because some courts and stuff like this with the previous city administrator. So we now are going, you know, for the first 4 or 5 months. So Hazel Valley is entitled to his opinion. If he gets Mike Hansford and Joe and Ann resign, I'll be happy to resign. I don't think you can find any better counsel that we've had in the last 6 months to a year.
Well, let me ask you.
The rules are, and nothing we can do about that.
Yeah. Well, now let me ask you this question. I don't know where you heard it, and this is where I started this. Let's just assume that Dave gets 2 votes, and another candidate gets 2 votes. With the problems that's happened between Dave and Mike, would it be fair or could Mike actually vote, or should he excuse himself?
No, he can vote.
Yeah. I know he can vote, but I'm saying, should he vote?
You know, I certainly should. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Okay, you know, I'm sure that Mr. Young, when he chose to interview, he did a very good interview. In my opinion, there was only 2 good interviews, okay? And I'm not going to announce it, but, you know, but which ones those were, but there was 2 very good interviews. And so I would say next month, I know for a fact that I'm going to put it on the agenda to go ahead and vote for the city administrator.
Oh, okay.
Because that's what the charter says.
Well, let me ask you this.
Now, in the absence of the city administrator, we voted several months ago to the department heads would handle their own departments, and then if it came up to a dismissal or something serious, then they would talk to the council, and we would sit down and vote on that. We would meet or vote over the phone, you know, to vote on each particular thing, department. And also the mayor was put in charge, only in charge, he's not the city administrator. He was only put in charge of the office workers inside the, you know, administration office. And we did give him that thing, but at no time can neither the mayor or any of the city administrator, city councilman become the city administrator. We can't do that. Okay. That was brought up. So Mike is not the city administrator right now. And, he might does plenty of work. So does Joe, and so does Ann, and so does Hansford. I mean, you know, everybody is putting a little bit more time. You know, today, Monday, we met for an hour or so with this local hospital about problems and stuff. So, you know, we're pulling our time.
Okay.
So, but if there is 3 votes to hire a city administrator, the next time, I'm sure we're going to have a new city administrator, whoever that may be.
Okay. Appreciate your call, buddy.
Okay.
Thank you. Bye-bye. You're on the air?
Yeah, well, does the city attorney, do they sit in on most of the meetings or something? I don't know how that works.
On anything that's where it's called a workshop or a regular meeting, the attorneys are supposed to be there for advisement. That's what they pay them for.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking, especially if something has a general right. That's what I was thinking that. Okay, I appreciate it.
Okay, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, Hazel Valley. You heard Mr. Fannin, and what's your opinion now? And, you know, I had Aunt Hester was on with me there a few minutes ago. I like to hear her comments now that, you know, I think we've got some clarity on what's going on. In fact, about it, I think he said that they had given the mayor the authority to work with the office workers, but the other issues is as far as outside like maintenance people and whatever others does outside, and supervisors and the policemen, just I guess the administrative office. The mayor, I guess, is working with them now. I don't, so we get that verified, and things change. And I was happy to hear that that Bob said that, you know, yes, the mayor has a right to vote and should vote. But sometimes whenever there's been the issue that was between Mr. Young and the mayor, a lot of people do excuse themselves because of conflicts. You're on the air?
Hey.
Yeah.
Real quick. Bob led us to believe they've been taking applications for over a year. They've been interviewing for over a year. That's not true.
I think he said 6 or 7 months, didn't he? I might have misunderstood.
He didn't say 6 months. He said since the position came open that they've been looking for an administrator since the position.
Yeah, he said they've been looking.
We advertised this one time, about 2 months ago. So we went for a year without fulfilling the charter. But I knew Bob wouldn't resign. Bob's been for a long time. He don't tend to resign. And you know, when I said that, I knew none of them would resign.
I understand that.
When he made the comment that the charter says they are supposed to fill that position, why did they not advertise it the day after they let David Young go?
Good question.
And why didn't they, you know, that was a long time ago. I mean, you know, how long has he been working for William Beard down there at the county? That was a long time ago. They went well over a year without advertising.
In fact, about it.
The charter, according to Bob Fennon's own argument, they should have advertised the very next day for applications, and they should have been interviewing people back then. It shouldn't have taken more than 2 or 3 months. I tell you what, I think it's longer than we think. You know, we're talking about a year. David Young has worked for the county for well over a year.
Well, not only that, he served as a county.
He was let go, what was that, 2.5, 3 years ago?
At least.
So, what's Bob saying them doing? They've not been taking applications.
Well, I know, but I know that Bob has sat here and he said, we've tried and we can't seem to come.
They tried nothing. They didn't run an ad.
No, he's saying
2 or 3 months ago.
He's saying that because you remember Bob got reelected, and he wasn't even there when David. I don't believe when David was let go.
I don't think he was on the city council at that time. I think you're right. But anyway, let me get off here.
Okay.
For Mr. Hanson to call in. He's a big fan of Bob Fannin.
Appreciate your call.
He should call.
Okay. Talk to you later. Bye-bye. You're on the air.
Yes, this don't have anything to do with your subject right now.
Okay, that's fine.
I had a carport to get and I's back a few years ago, a few weeks ago, and if the insurance company, it wouldn't cover the carport because it was not attached to the house. It would not cover the vehicle under it because it was just liability. And so I called the main adjuster, and he told me to go ahead and take off have the carport taken off by somebody, so I did. And they said that, none of my stuff was covered. So he told me to go ahead and do that. And that he would mail me a check for having it done for the amount that we agreed on, the guy that estimated. So they sent me, they had took $500 deductible and sent me the other $2. So if it was not covered, there shouldn't have been a deductible. Is that right?
I really don't know. I don't want to give you any information that's not right, and I have no idea, okay? I appreciate your call.
All right.
Thank you. You're on the air.
Hey, good evening, Mr. Gibbs.
Hey, how you doing, buddy?
Just fine, thank you. On this city administrator thing, what Fanny's talking about, changing the charter and whatever, I think it was changed back by just some kind of a thing. They just sent it to the state, and I believe it had to do with turning the price rating or whatever on the water system or something over to the utility department.
Yeah.
I think changing this charter is not no big deal, I don't think.
Well, now, to change the charter, the way we're talking, I'm pretty certain that you have to get a referendum on it. What it is, like, if you wanted to get a petition out, and I think you just have like 25 signatures, or it might be the election office down there can tell you. And
percentage of the last election, I believe, was a percentage of the number of voters.
Right. And they can put that on the ballot, and you all can vote. Let's change that charter.
I think that would be the thing to do.
I do too.
Like hiring a city administrator right now, personally, I wouldn't do it at all. This thing has been nothing but trouble from day one. And if they turn this thing and they put it on a referendum, I'm sure that it would be voted down and take care of whatever else has to be done. And the city has operated, in my opinion, is doing just fine the way it's working. And I don't believe there's any repercussions to doing it just like we're doing right now until the next election. I think that we could even, if you had to file some sort of a variance or something like that, I'm pretty sure you could do that until the next election and have a referendum on it. But now back to Mr. Fannin. I believe on your show that Mr. Fannin stated that Mr. Young was the greatest manager or administrator or whatever that he had ever heard of, and that if it was within his power, that he would pay him more money than what he was getting paid. Now, Mr. Young wasn't excused from his position just on a whim. There was a lot of things involved that everybody tends to forget. There was the issue, and this wasn't brought up as part of it, but there was a missing tractor, motor tractor or something in the city. And there was a whole lot of things involved in this thing. And I think we pretty much know how part of the vote will go. And Mr. Fannin was there. He was in the office whenever Mr. Young was let go. And I was present.
But I don't know that he skipped a term since then, though. So it's been quite a while, hasn't it?
That is correct. It's been a long time. But he was present. And so was I. And I heard what was said, and I heard what Mr. Fannin had to say about it. And Mr. Fannin was an extremely strong supporter of Mr. Young.
No, there's no question about it. He did it right here on my show.
Well, he did this also at the meeting. And I even went to the court hearing, the whole 9 yards, and went through the thing all the way from one end to the other. And if time's going to tell how this thing goes. And let me back up and say this now. Mr. Young was put into this position when Cliff Jennings was mayor. Okay? Now, history has shown what Mr. Jennings, what he was involved in at the time and whatever else. And I saw things come through there that you can't prove them, but you know they stink. You know that there's money involved. It's like the track flight cameras, and there's another situation involved that I never could get an answer for. It had to do with about $100,000 or 100,000 yards of compactable soil, dirt. You know what I'm talking about? And there's all sorts of things that went on here, and you can't prove none of it, but you know what's going on. But anyhow, what I'm getting back to is this point. We can continue to the next election as we're going right now and put this thing on a referendum and deal with it that way.
Okay, appreciate you.
Appreciate your time, sir, and you have a safe trip. Best to your wife.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks, sir.
Bye-bye. Okay. Anybody else want to call? Give me a call. The line must have dropped. You're on the air.
Hey, RL. Hazel Valley forgot one important.
Oh. Go ahead.
There was another city administrator between David Young. I mean, I think there's been a total of, 7 lawsuits between the two of them. Hazel Valley forgot we had another city administrator.
Yes, it is.
Long ago. So we have had
What did she last, 4 months or?
It didn't last 3 months.
3 months.
So we did have another city administrator, and I don't know how many lawsuits as a result of that.
Now, well, has any of those been?
Mr. Henson's right. Put it on a referendum and change it. You know, make other people responsible, because that's what your councilmen are supposed to be responsible for. And your department heads. Instead of bringing a non-elected party, and it's been too political ever since they've had it. And it gets too political, and meetings after the meetings, and there was a lot of things alleged, supposed, whatever. That's not the point. The point is, it never turned out well.
Well, now, I know Oneida was kind of in the same situation that the town of La Follette was in, or is in now, until the mayor quit. And then they put it on a referendum, and so...
You look at the city of La Follette between now and years ago, and it has changed a lot of different ways. You've got a lot of great people here in La Follette. Not just the people involved in some of your politics, but a lot of good people here. And there's a lot of things that have come into La Follette. The businesses, I mean, no big factories. You go up and down the road. There's jobs, there's people, there's good people here. And when your administration doesn't wake up to the fact that you're creating a problem for the people and paying this person, then maybe they need to understand that they need to be responsible, not bring out somebody and limit the power of the mayor, of course. Just like you have to limit the power of anybody in power. Because if you don't, you have, what we have on a national basis. But there was another city administrator, and that was a failure. Yeah. So, I think they need to change it, and I think they will. But, no, I think La Follette, personally, I've seen it change. There's a lot of people here that have changed, because you've got a lot of great people here in La Follette.
Appreciate your comment.
Hard-working people. I mean, just really interested in seeing that, and as large as we are, but there's some people that want to join La Follette with Jacksboro and make it one big municipality. Of course, that's not going to happen.
Well, I think it should.
Well, that's not going to happen.
I think it should.
Well, if you try to separate La Follette and make it part of Jacksboro, you'd have another war on your hands.
Well, what would you call it?
Well, I think one time I wrote a column about it a long time ago, and I came up with some goofy name. But La Follette is getting very, and it has a lot to say, and it's very important. But everybody that's elected has to assume their responsibilities. And that's what they've been doing. I mean, the mayor and the city council and your department heads have been doing what they're paid for, and that's to assume they don't have a standard hiring and firing practice, which they need to have.
Right.
They really, like an interview, so people are made aware that they're not doing it. I mean, there's a lot of things they can do. That does not mean that you got to pay somebody $70-some thousand a year, more than anybody elected official to do what? What most people can do. La Follette has pretty well leveled out your thing that it knows what's coming in, what's going. And as long as you've got people at the helm, your mayor and your city council, that are not in it all for themselves all the time, then everybody in La Follette benefits.
Yeah. Appreciate your call.
They should be grateful for that. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. You're on the air.
Hey.
Yeah.
So we didn't forget. It's just that the woman wasn't there long enough to be tabulated. So Esther thinks if you keep scoring baskets.
I should have looked to see who. I should have looked to see
Esther
who.
thinks if you keep scoring baskets after the game's over, they ought to be counted. But yeah, she's swinging from the chandeliers tonight. You drive home safely, big guy.
Okay.
Okay, bye-bye.
Appreciate your call. Okay, folks. Doyle's service, when you stop down there, tell them that RL sent you, and I greatly appreciate it. And my time is up, folks. I don't know about you. Let me look to see what my clock says. My clock says it's already 10 o'clock. So anyway, I'll see y'all next week.